that my shoes wore out, and Mother had to cut cardboard out for the soles of the shoes. She'd have to put the cardboard in my shoes for me. That's how poor we were. But you know, the thing that I remember about my mother and my daddy was, even though we didn't have any money, we had love. Mother loved me, and my daddy loved me, and they spent a lot of time with my sister and me. And the thing that I remember, that Mother, back in those days we had what is known as ducking. That was, overalls were made out of this blue denim. This was what we call denim now. We called it ducking back in those days. Mother got this denim, blue denim, and she made me a catcher's mitt out of it. And we had cotton, of course, and she stuffed it with cotton, but she made me a little mitt about that big around, and she put a little cover over it for I could stick my fingers into it, and I had a pocket there, and I had me this little mitt. My daddy would come in from the fields, and he would play catch with me. And my daddy taught me how to throw a curveball. And my daddy would play with me hour after hour. He would come, he would play with me. And because my dad, he would always brag on me. He would always compliment me. He'd tell me what a good ball player I was, and I loved baseball, and that's what we got to play at school. Sister and I grew up there in that kind of environment.
As I travel on life's pathway, know not what the years may hold.
At age 12, right after World War II, they opened up Falls Creek, Oklahoma for a summer encampment. I went that first year, and it was there that God called me to be a missionary, which scared me utterly to death because I was afraid of everything under the sun. But I knew that I was being called to be a missionary, and I was so scared to go forward. And they just kept singing and singing and singing in the invitation hymn, "Wherever He leads, I'll go." So finally I walked that long distance, which seemed to me at least a mile, down that sawdust aisle to the front to say that God had called me to be a missionary. Well, I went through high school, got to college, Southwestern State in Winthrop, Oklahoma, met this preacher boy, fell in love with him, and he said God hadn't called him to be anything like a missionary, and I must be mistaken. And I said, yeah, I'm mistaken, because I really wanted to marry that preacher boy. So I said, I'm mistaken about my call. I'm called to be a preacher's wife, not a missionary's wife. So we got married, had 3 children, and then one night he walked in after we were comfortably settled in a nice little parsonage in a nice little town where I wanted to raise my children from then on. He walked in one night and dropped a bombshell and said, have you ever thought any more about your missionary call? It was early in the year of 1960. Our 3rd child, Greg, was born in July of 1960. In August of that same year, Jim went off to Glorieta, as he said, to confirm his call to missions. He came back, and 6 months from then, in March of 1961, we were appointed as missionaries of what was then called the Foreign Mission Board of the Southern Baptist Convention. We went to Costa Rica with our 3 little children. Greg was 1, Gwen was 2, and Guy was 5. So we went and spent our year there to study the Spanish language, and you notice I said study, I didn't say we learned it. And then we had 9 weeks back in the States in 1962, and on Halloween our ship landed in Guayaquil, Ecuador, and the 5 of us were there to serve the Lord. We moved to the city of Quito. Our 4th child, Gail, was born in Quito in 1964, and there we spent the next 33 years in the country of Ecuador.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire, and in darkest night, you are close like no other. I've known you as a father, I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God. Hey! 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. Oh yes you have. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up till I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me through the fire, and in darkest night, you are close like no other. I've known you as a father, I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God. Hey! 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. Oh yes you have. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. And all my life
faith.